Whovians, hop in your TARDISes. You're listening to another episode of Dr. Huh?
Elon Musk should call his company Edison Motors, if you ask me.
I'm Edison pilled now, folks. This episode convinced me Edison was way cooler than Nikola Tesla.
I'm Sam, the prosthetics appreciator.
I'm Jordan, your incel anti-Semite.
Okay. And we have a guest. Say hello.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, the guest.
Jesus Christ, Jordan. We watched Series 12, Episode 4, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, written by Nina Metivier, or maybe Metivier.
Metiver.
Directed by Nita Manzoor.
By the Metaverse. This is an episode written by AI.
And Nina Metiver, by the way, a staff writer on this season of Doctor Who, but this is her first credit as an actual episode writer.
Good for her.
Yeah. Well, you could tell Crisp's Chibnall was in the background. He's coffee crashed, too tired to write this one. He was just slumped over on his desk, and Nina Metaverse just stepped in, and she was like, I'll get this one done. And that's why nobody in this episode had any legs. That's because this episode doesn't have a leg to stand on.
You know they do have legs now, right? Like they...
Oh, they finally invented legs?
Yeah, it was like 2 months before they had legs.
Thank you, Nikola Tesla.
Thank you, Nikola Tesla.
I think it's funny that last time we had a guest, we were like, oh yeah, Janos will be on next week. We'll roll an episode. And then we got one that was really stupid. But this time, you just happened to have been talking about this episode on Discord
constantly.
And saying you liked it. So we were just like, oh, let's have Chai on.
Have Chai on. So before we start talking about Nikola Tesla's House of Horrors, The Night of 1,000 Terrors.
What a weird title.
What is it? Yeah, I don't even think the episode really took place at night, even, which was extra funny. What is
Nikola Tesla's Day of Dog Shit?
What is your favorite epic bacon invention of epic Nikola Tesla? I think his cars are pretty cool, and I like them, and I like their welding. They're really well.
I thought he did a really bang-up job when he invented the bacon salt for ice cream.
I thought it was cool when he invented weed.
I think it was amazing when he was in love with that pigeon and invented the idea of the waifu.
He invented her tofu boyfriend. That was so cool of him.
Okay, we need to get this right out right now. That this is an episode written in the wake of Crack.com, 7 ways Nikola Tesla was so epic and 7 ways Thomas Edison was a prick.
It really is like
that was like a seminal piece of text from when I was like 16 years. That's like the 16-year-old I fucking love science boys holy Bible.
Do you remember though that the centerpiece of this episode was actually one of the centerpieces of that at the time? Wardenclyffe, like the oatmeal. Matthew Inman, the cartoonist. He launched a huge Kickstarter back in the day to say, we have to save Wardenclyffe Tower. We gotta make a Tesla museum.
We gotta make a cool car after him. Do you remember, by the way, this is an infinite source of content for Doctor Who, by the way. Crisps, if you're listening, get me on the phone. I've got a concept for you. Do you remember the website Badass of the Week?
Hey, Crisps, it's time to catch up.
Do you remember Badass? Okay, Badass of the Week, if you don't remember, was exactly what it sounded. Think the best prose that the late 2000s, early 2010s had to offer. It was like, this fucking epic fucker Badass was so fucking cool that he would blow your ass clean off and eat it for breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, it was chive text.
It was chive text, but my favorite memory of Badass of the Week that wasn't about Epic Bacon Nikola Tesla was that they did one about John McCain, and it was like, say what you want about his politics, but John McFucking Cain was the most epic, rootin' tootin' badass pilot you ever did see. And he was
just don't try to high-five him.
Don't try to high-five him. This motherfucker shot down Medicare, and he shot down a bunch of Vietnamese people. And that's pretty fucking cool. Anyway.
This motherfucker says Obama's not Arab, he's nice.
Because of the torture, he can't raise his arms above his shoulders, so don't high-five him.
Yeah, anyways.
It's a joke.
That's only low 5.
Only low 5. The ace is low.
I mean, really low 5 now.
He's in hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Badass of the week, Meghan McCain. You better believe this fucking badass lady's been on The View, and she's saying the coolest shit you ever heard.
I do want to say, though, I think it's great that they finally found a way to take a break from jacking off the doctor and jack off somebody else.
They jacked off a guy. Like, okay, for context, you know, if you were a teen growing up in the IFL Science oatmeal era, the Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Back when we liked him.
Tesla was a folk hero at the time, right? Like, truly.
Back when he was hanging out with Eugene Merman and his friend Eugene Merman. You would have been such a big fan of Tesla. I was a teenage boy and I did a presentation report. It was like, well, some people were doing like, well, the fucking sheep were doing Beyonce and Hannah Montana. I was out here up at the front being like, well, some people said he was an anti-Semite, but I think that... But anyway, the point is, I started watching this episode, and for the first time in my life, it hit me. Did Tesla actually really do anything? And then I did a bunch of research, and I was kind of like, sorta, but not really.
Kind of. Well, he thought about a lot of things.
He made one big invention.
He had several medium inventions.
He had some medium inventions, but like this idea that like it was him and Edison, the war of the currents, and Edison was
the only two people to ever graduate from college in the 19th century.
Like the fact that the idea that Edison was like personally coming after Tesla, like that is so fictitious. It's complete fiction.
Well, as we talk about it later, right? Like a lot of that comes from Tesla's memoir.
Right. And Tesla was a crank. He was a crank.
Yes, he was
a huge
insane.
Crank.
But all of that aside, he had ideas. He was a visionary. He was ahead of his time. And I really liked the end of the episode when she said, you know, like, he's not going to invent all of these things. He's not going to see the world that he dreams of, but it will become a reality. And that's beautiful. And then Tesla turns and yells at some guy, "Hey, you fucking Jew, get away from there." And then the doctor turns over to Yaz and everyone else. And she's like, "Well, you can't win them all." And then they leave.
I was going to build my very good tower, but the goddamn Jews wouldn't let me do it. Oh,
for the record,
we're Jewish. I'm Jewish. I don't know.
For the record, I have no horse in this race. I never really had any opinion of him or Edison. Although
I think Edison was pretty damn cool. Now this episode
he was a vamp for sure.
He was a real dilf.
Edison was a mensch.
I did like this episode, just so we're clear.
I didn't like it very much.
I also like this episode a lot, actually.
I didn't like it, and I have a theory that Crisps, you know, as the showrunner, was like, "Hey, let's do an episode about Tesla." And what Nina Metaverse sat down, she was like, "Okay, let's see what Tesla did." And then she looked it up, and she saw that he invented a kind of motor. And then she said,
Well, no.
He invented the exploding car.
He said, She said, I don't know if there's a lot of meat on this bones for this episode.
And then Tesla said, "Meat on these bones? I've been working on a similar idea myself."
What if they made food that was an animal that you could eat? You kill it and you eat it. Wow, Tesla invented, and what if there was some kind of cured pork product? I'm doing the vaguely Eastern European accent that this actor was doing. I don't think he was Serbian, but who could possibly say?
He's Croatian.
But
so whether or not you think he's Serbian, you may or may want to delete that also, because he's Croatian. So you're wading into quite a lot of politics.
I thought he was Serbian. Well, anyways. I don't give a shit. Come after me. But anyway, Nikola Tesla...
And he was really good on ER, also. Like, he's a doctor on ER for a decade.
He sits down and he says... Yeah, Tesla. And he says, what if we took pork and we cured it in a cure, and then we fried it up and rendered the fat and made it all crispy? And that was definitely his best invention.
We started Niagara Falls. Nikola Tesla tells Top Hat Man about his hydroelectric plant, and he waxes poetic about the hidden forces that power our world.
Wait, can I make a joke real quick?
Yes.
We started Niagara Falls. Nikola Tesla is in a barrel, floating down the falls. That's it. It's just like, what if that would be a very zany way for the episode to start, is what I was thinking.
It would have been
And then
good,
he dies, and the episode ends.
And he fucking dies, and wouldn't that be funny if a character fucking beefed it on TV?
And then you just see the writers scrambling, and then they play the epic rap battles history
Anyway,
video.
these so-called free thinkers are just not willing to give a $50,000 to an idea that has no evidence of working, which is like distributing electricity wirelessly through a big tower.
Tesla is talking, and he's backlit by Niagara Falls, and he's talking to a bunch of really uninterested businessmen who are like, electrical power? It'll never catch on.
Hey,
one guy...
Hey, it's me, Marvin Tesla. You know that new current you've been working on? Well, listen to this. Anyways, also one of them is like, why would we take money? Why would we give you money, Mr. Martian Man? I'm talking to the aliens. And Tesla's like, listen, guys. Of course, I've received an electrical signal from Mars. It was the bug lady. We'll see her later. And then they all walk out. They don't want to be his friend.
So one guy mentions the Mars rumors, and Tesla gets very defensive, and he's like, yeah, okay, I did get an electrical signal from Mars, but we're not talking about that right now. And the second he says that, everyone's like, I'm leaving.
I did make contact with the Scorpion MILF, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, asshole, what I do on my own time is my business.
She had fucked up teeth, and I was kind of into it.
I made contact with a Scorpion MILF, and not in the way you're thinking.
And then somebody comes in and says, hey, Tesla, you gotta see this, and it's a dead body.
It is a dead body, and it's a dead body of Edison's guy.
Yeah,
but
they didn't mention that for a long time in the episode.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of confused about what this guy had to do with anything.
Did anyone else have a problem with the fact that Tesla's secretary was named Dorothy Scarrett, and the aliens were called she was the Queen of Scareth?
See, that's the thing, is that Dorothy Scareth is a real person, and that was his secretary's
name.
And
so are the Scarethian aliens.
They are also real. They were also...
Right.
Yeah.
So is the planet of Scareth.
What are they going to do? Like, if it's true, it's true, you know?
I really like that this episode did more for the legacy of Dorothy Scarrett in the fact that if I Google her name...
Way more for her than Tesla. I've never seen her in a movie that had Tesla in it.
If you Google her name, it takes you to the TARDIS wiki, so...
Now that's kind of sad. Like, for her descendants, I think that's a little sad, but...
She was so popular in this episode of Doctor Who that they made her real in history.
Now that's what I call viral marketing.
So basically what happens is he's investigating the machinery that allegedly electrocuted this guy at night, and then he hears a noise. He says that he thinks the noise is Dorothy, and he's like, I figured it out. It was just, a thief stole some parts from the machine.
Someone's been stealing pieces, yeah.
Which never comes up again, but I assume that means that Edison's guy ripped some shit out of the machine and then died.
It does come up. It's the aliens that have been taking his electronics to repair their ship.
Oh, shit, you're right. I didn't even think about that. I'm stupid. He follows the noise, and he finds a floating green orb.
I love this orb. I love this orb so much. This orb was like the baby Yoda of this episode. It was just like a charming little green shape that you could merchandise and market and meme. And I think that we're living in the era of the orb.
I think I actually have a Funko Pop of this thing.
I think I might have accidentally swallowed my Funko Pop of this thing.
The Orb of Thasor, as it's called, is something that seems kind of like stupid and fun and like way too complicated that it would be from old Who.
I was going to say, this kind of sounds like I can imagine the Seventh Doctor being like, well, Ace, this is the Orb of Thasor. This is an ancient Dalek artifact.
Yeah, but it's entirely and only from this episode, so...
And it really has very little to do with anything. I mean, I guess
It shouldn't be here. I think that there's not really a purpose for... Like, you could write this story tighter without the Orb of Thasor.
It's for the merch.
Yeah, wasn't the point of it basically that it was like, the Thasor people were so epic and had such a great legacy? Remind you of anyone?
Pretty fucking cool.
But then someone perverted their legacy. Remind you of anyone? Edison, maybe?
And then
I love how much of this episode Thomas Edison is just standing in the background going like, well, I never.
Thomas Edison hangs out in the TARDIS for hours, and he's just sitting there.
There's a part that maybe, like, again, I'm not here to jack off Edison or Tesla. That's none of my business. But
I'm jacking them both off at the same time.
Yeah, it's double-handed, double fist in it. That's right.
Hey, good for Tesla.
Yeah.
The part where
Elden Ring taught me how.
The part where Tesla walks into the TARDIS and Edison's like, I found the TARDIS very confusing, and then Tesla goes, it appears that the width and diameter are quite larger.
That was so fucking funny because obviously,
intellectual.
famously, every Doctor Who, anytime the history person walks inside the TARDIS, they're like, whoa, bigger on the inside.
But then Edison hears him say that, and he's like, huh, I guess you are smart. It's like,
but in this case, it's like Edison says to Tesla, oh, hey, Tesla, welcome to the TARDIS. No idea what the fuck this is about. And Tesla goes, well, obviously, the internal dimensions merely map onto and overextend the exterior dimensions.
Edison's like, shit, I didn't notice that.
Damn, this guy real smart.
I thought it was as big on the inside. I'm a dumb motherfucker.
I will say they did mention at one point, Ryan the fucking idiot or something is like, Tesla, isn't that a car?
He does say exactly.
I was gritting my teeth for the Elon drop this whole week, this whole episode.
It's very 2019 of an episode.
They don't say it. They didn't do a Star Trek, which is, I don't want to give the props to the episode for not mentioning our beautiful.
I was waiting for the Elon drop where the Scarith ship drops him from the sky.
I'm waiting for the Elon. When is in like 100 years when Doctor Who is still on TV, but we're all gone? Is there going to be an episode where the Doctor goes back in time to South Africa, apartheid era South Africa, and there's a beautiful young man.
There's actually a alien species that uses emeralds as fuel for their spaceships, and then
oh my god,
Ryan literally says, quote, and this is how we start the scene, the conversation about, and what did Tesla invent? Which is a big scene, right? Because no one remembers from the show.
Did we get to the part where
a lot of it, right?
Did we get to the part where the Doctor shows up and she saves the day? And
no, yeah, Tesla is being ambushed by a creepy guy with glowy red eyes, who's the guy that we haven't met yet.
Mm-hmm. And then the Doctor
he's got
shows
a gun.
Up. This is some
and then
kind
the
of
Doctor sonics a
ray.
vent onto the guy's head, and the guy fall unconscious.
I will accept
Ouch.
that. I will. There's one sonic use I accept, which is using it to loosen a vent, whatever.
Using it to unscrew something.
Yeah, but she
it
did
does
also
unscrew
later.
The screws, right?
She uses it to activate a teleport orb, and she uses it to activate Wardenclyffe Tower. So 0 points for this week's sonic test. Yeah, they end up...
Does it screw drive is the test, yeah.
Does it screw drive, and does it do anything unwarranted that it shouldn't be able to do? Like, for example, there's a part later, not to get ahead, but there's a part later where a guy just shows up and spying on Tesla, and the Doctor just, points the sonic screwdriver at him, and I was like, what the fuck is she planning on doing with it? I thought she was gonna, find out his bank account or something with it. Is it like the phone from Watch Dogs? It's just like...
I was gonna say.
Profiling.
What were we talking about? The what did Tesla invent scene?
Well, before we get there,
plot, we're just in the factory where she's like, "We have to escape,"
and then they escape, and then they get on a train.
Suddenly, there's no explanation as to how they're on the train, and it doesn't matter.
Ryan, Graham,
it's like as they jump onto as they walk into the train car with Ryan, Yaz, and Graham, the Doctor says something to the effect of like, "Oh, we sure did jump on the train."
Here's the thing I was thinking about, because Yaz and, Yaz, Ryan, and Dan are, not Dan the man, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham the man, Graham the bus man. Graham the racist bus driver. No, he's not. This is a fiction I've created. They're all there wearing their period outfits.
You didn't watch that episode very closely if your takeaway is that he was the racist bus driver.
It's just
who,
a headcanon.
He made so many jokes about it that it became true.
Yeah. It's just a headcanon of that's kind of what I thought was going to happen, was that he was going to have to take one for the team and
taking one for the team.
They do take one for the team, and they do be racist.
It would have been a beautifully tragic moment, because his beloved wife that he lost was like a big Rosa Parks fan, and she said, like, I hope you're not like that racist bus driver. And the tragedy is.
There's a picture of her. He's got like a photo album, and he's like, and here's a picture of her in her Rosa Parks shirt, and here's a picture of her in her I Hate James Blake shirt, and then he looks again, and he's like, wait a minute, that's an I Hate Graham shirt. What happened?
Photos have retroactively changed.
We on Dr. Han, our favorite thing to talk about is episodes about racism. So here's my question, and I want you to tell me if this is
just
a valid thing
public.
to think about. When they're in Edison times, Tesla times, and Yaz and Ryan are there in their period gear, is it wrong of me to be like, why are some of the episodes characters are racist at them and some of them aren't? Because like,
it is not wrong of you.
Okay,
and the answer is that the writing has no continuity between writers.
I was so ready for Tesla to be like Edison, not Tesla because he's epic, but like for Edison to be racist and misogynist at Yaz, and it never I can't believe a woman would tell me.
At Tesla.
He is kind of racist at Tesla, but he's not racist. He's a progressive king.
He's got no issue with like the British Muslim woman.
Yeah,
but
all I'll say is I'm not sad that we don't have every episode a character from the past just like hurling slurs at Yas and Ryan.
I'm not sad about it, but
neither.
it makes it's an inconsistency, which is something
we should just assume
it's
what we're seeing is a version of what actually happened when the story was true. And they just took out those scenes.
Well, because
they only have 45 minutes, right? They can't just.
Here's why I care about this. Actually, is because they get off the train and they're in the Big Apple, the beautiful city of dreams, and there's this whole thing that's like the doctor's like gushing about how much she loves.
Speaking of, didn't see a lot of black New Yorkers.
No, there was one like child newsie at the very end, and that was it. But the doctor's like gushing about how much she loves the Big Apple in 1900s and how cool it is, and it's like the most modern. It's the beginning of the modern. And I'm gritting my teeth the whole time, like what? And then she does point out, and also there's more poor people than ever. And I'm like, okay, sure. But then it's just like it doesn't address racism
she
at all.
Like remembers inequality.
That entire paragraph
and
felt like a textbook intro paragraph.
What was that? Yeah, like. When the
1900s saw some of the fastest evolution of progress.
When the doctor, also, here's where I want to talk about this now that we're talking about progress and Tesla and the doctor like fangirling over Tesla. The doctor, I can accept that the doctor would be very excited to be Mr. Vincent van Gogh or Mr. fucking Julius Caesar, whatever, like these famous people. But when the doctor is like gushing over a guy who made a motor and an electric current, when the doctor is like, I knew Omega, who made the first black hole, and she like worked alongside the fucking Time Lords of. I'm just like, this is like when you go to the zoo and you see a monkey,
and the stranger, and Rassilon, and the other three.
When you see a gorilla like scratch its armpits with its hands and like peel a banana or something with its hands, and you go, wow, it's like looking back in time. This is amazing. This is so cool. Like I mean,
you're not wrong that it's a little funny to pick
like
Tesla
why is
out of
the
everyone
doctor?
in history.
Why is the doctor?
She
there's
read
a very
the
good
listicle.
reason.
Yeah, that's
there's
it.
a very good reason, and the reason is that the doctor likes dreamers and likes loser humans. Like,
she does like loser
bite
humans.
off a bit more than they
like
can
Dan,
chew.
Like Dan the man, or fucking.
And I like that. I
because,
really liked her scene where she talks to him, and
I think
she's
all of her and Tesla, like the private scenes that's just them talking about the future, is really lovely.
I would have liked this episode a lot more if the doctor was being condescending as fuck and being like, "How cute! This guy thinks he knows about electricity. I have a time machine." That would have been way epic.
Well, I don't think that's 13th Doctor.
No, but I really still barely have a sense of anything about that. Like, the more...
We get a little characterization. Like, she's not just Matt Smith anymore, because Matt Smith didn't invent.
Well, Matt
didn't
Smith
say out loud, I love inventing, I do it all the time.
I just can't get a sense of her. I just don't know. I don't think that it's a bad performance. I don't think it's on Jodie's end. I think it's just a writing problem.
Here's kind of my thoughts about this. I think that, you know, when it was announced that they would have a woman play the Doctor, it was a very big deal. And it was a big deal to me because the person who I was when I cared about this show, a child, really cared about that being possible someday. And so I, got back into the show when Jodie Whittaker was announced, and I watched her run, and then I watched the stuff that was around it because I wanted to see the rest of that too. But I think fundamentally, really one of the big issues with Whittaker as the Doctor, and the Brits are freaks, they're bigots, they're monsters. So I think that there's a big issue with, like, she had to truly 100% right away feel like the Doctor. Which I think didn't give her a lot of room to feel like anything else.
Yeah. We talked about that. We watched one episode of Truman Capote's 12th Doctor. And, like, you get the sense he's kind of a morally dubious trickster man. And maybe that's only one episode, but I got a sense of that. And I just... It really feels like they're kind of playing it safe with
it's going to be funny when we watch another...
She is very much, like, in terms of the chronology of it, she is a return to form from Capaldi, I would say.
Yeah. It's going to be funny when we watch any other Capaldi episode, and he's like, got a completely different affectation.
He's Christian.
He's like the
It's supposed to be,
the Christian
such
juggler.
A big deal that the Doctor to you is a woman, that you really, like, are spending, I think, theoretically, all of your brain processing time on Dr. Boob!
Yeah, it's just because I'm a massive misogynist.
Well, I like her.
I like her. I
take that
once
as
again,
you will, listeners.
I just think
like
that there's writing problems.
Costuming. I think her costuming is flawless.
Her costume's really good.
Okay, so back in the plot of the episode, she calls Tesla a liar when he denies knowing why he's being chased with an alien laser gun.
Makes no fucking sense. Just stupid writing.
Well,
because she followed the energy signal that
She's
they were
the sonic
following.
Screwdriver.
That was such a clunker of a line where she gets on the train and Ryan is like, "Did you find that energy signal?" And she's like, "I found it. It led me to Niagara Falls."
See, I was really kind of excited when she saw Nikola Tesla and she says, "You liar," because I was like, "Oh my god, they're actually
Finally,
gonna, like,
someone
said
down
no."
Tesla.
I was like, wow, okay, this episode isn't gonna just be like, I fucking love epic science, Nikola Tesla. It was gonna kind of explore his legacy as an inventor, but no, it's just because he had a
it's the Tesla versus Edison story.
It's because he has an orb. It's a Tesla versus Edison story, but it's also a Tesla and Edison team up to fight some big bugs.
It is kind of Tesla and Edison and the Doctor versus aliens, but it's also the Doctor versus aliens and Edison.
It's also like not even remotely about anything to do with Tesla, except that they use a big electric machine that he allegedly built or tried to build.
The idea that he heard transmissions from Mars is a true fact that he recorded, that he believed he had heard this. It was probably someone in, like, the Midwest fucking around with a radio, but...
The Midwest of
realistically,
Mars.
It was someone else in America, but I think it's really smart to hinge the episode around one tiny detail from history where it's like, yeah, and Tesla thought he spoke with Mars. Anyway,
that is cool.
No one else would care about that, but yeah.
So they tag along to his lab in New York, and there's protesters outside of his lab.
The protesters suck. We hate AC.
I love their every time protesters are on a show and their signs are like beautifully printed and rendered. I always just think they're like astroturfed. Like, is Edison paying these people to protest outside?
One person has a sign that says DC equals death current, and then they said, "Oh shit!" and then they scratched out DC and they wrote AC. Equals a death current.
One of the protesters yells at Nikola Tesla, "Go back to Mars!" And another one yells, "You don't belong in America," which is really subtle.
It is subtle.
Yeah, one person calls him a foreign lunatic. These are all things that we should be saying to Elon Musk. Anyway, there's a creep in a bowler hat, and he watches them walk inside. He will matter soon when Tesla... He's, like, seething about how not mad he is about the protesters. They go into his lab. I don't know what the point of this was. They go into his lab, and they're like, oh, there's nothing here. But just so that later they can go to a different lab.
Well, the point is that it's all in his head.
But also, no, he has another lab full of his wacky, wild inventions.
Well, that's true also. But
this episode's definition of a lab is a room full of tables where you display your cool things on.
That sounds like a lab to me.
It's not like a room with vent fans.
Like we see Edison's workshop where there's like 50 lab benches and all these dudes
Edison's workshop has lab benches with fume hoods with like.
And then Tesla.
I need to invent the whiteboard so that I can have a lab.
We need to invent, what if there's a big glass wall that I can write on in dry erase markers and I can write my code on it. But then we go to Tesla's lab later and it's like, here's a table with my Zappy Ray on
Death
it.
Ray.
Death Ray, yeah. Speaking of which, it was so fucking funny, by the way, and the episode never, like, even winks at it, where Tesla's like, I would never, ever, ever make weapons. I am here to better mankind. Don't look at the Death Ray I tried to make. Don't look at it.
Don't look at the Death Ray Mark III.
Don't look at my third attempt
was that
at a Death
real?
Ray. Yes.
It is real. Yes. Tesla famously tried to invent a Death Ray for a long time.
Okay.
They tested it on Mythbusters once, I think.
Are they okay?
No, they all died. This is where I'm finally ready to announce my theory that Adam Savage died.
But yeah, the Death Ray, another famous real thing from real life.
He was a crank. I respect that about him, that he was a crank. Like, let him... This is my idea for a better version of this episode, is that they lean into the fact that he was a crank. That's super fun. What if he was just out of his mind? What if he was, like... talking to his pet pigeons and building Death Rays.
He's really smart and out of his mind.
Like
right?
that,
like, wouldn't that
because
be fun?
that's what the doctor's kind of a crank, and the doctor's really smart.
The doctor's totally a crank.
Like,
the doctor
why doesn't
fucked
Tesla's
off
like...
from her entire society, which was built around her, kind of. Like, not a spoiler really, but like, and she's like, this planet full of apes. I like it. It's mine
this
now.
planet full of apes that die.
I'm gonna fuck all of their queens.
I'm gonna fuck all their monarchs, and when I blink, in the time it takes for me to blink, they all die. But like, why? It would have been so much more fun.
Spoilers for Blink, okay?
Oh no, a weeping angel in my video game. But like, it would have been really great if the Doctor and Tesla got to bond over the fact that they're a bit kooky. But he's like weird and aloof and quiet.
Instead, they're both shown as really sensible.
That's just not what I want.
I haven't met either of them.
And the Doctor shouldn't be really sensible. The Doctor should be confusing and mysterious and fun.
They should both be bonding over about the Zionist conspiracy that they've been reading about.
On that note, Jordan, I am very excited to talk to you about our first episode with the second Doctor. I really, really liked it.
About a Zionist conspiracy?
No.
Yeah, the series is just called The Zionist Conspiracy.
Fuck, I love that serial.
I like when they walk in and Yaz gets, like, inexplicably really snotty, and when Graham's like, oh, he's a famous inventor, and Yaz is like, oh yeah? What did he invent then?
And then he's like, I don't know. And then I'm like, oh my god, the episode's actually making a point about Tesla. And then she's like, look at all of these interesting historical curios that Tesla made and then didn't patent or market or try to sell to people.
The Doctor mentions a few things that she says that Tesla invented. I looked up all of them on Wikipedia, and none of them mention Tesla at all. But she mentions automatons.
He made
either of you know what?
Yeah, so I do actually know about this. So Tesla had a theory where he was like, it would be so cool if there were, like, little robots that did everything for you. And the Doctor's like, damn. He invented drones.
This is like on the F+, like, idea wiki, where it's like, what if there was a car that didn't need any gas and it could fly and it was impossible to crash, and if you turn it off, it fills up your mug.
I want to push back a little bit about this, because I think that the thing that the episode is saying, really, and that the Doctor is really saying, isn't Tesla was a brilliant guy at producing and selling commodities to a finished market, right? Like, it's saying Tesla was a dreamer, but the scope and breadth of his dreams was magnificent.
I just don't think that the episode should crank him off as much as unless they're going to make that point very explicit. and I don't think that because they're
they
like
kind of don't. No,
they kind of because they're kind of like because they kind of this is where it's like I know that they did this already to great effect where they take a person from history to see the future so they can see their dream made manifest.
Episode 1 of Doctor Who was this kind of episode.
I think this
Someday
episode should have ended with the Doctor taking Tesla to modern day New York City, and he sees all the lights, and he sees people on TikTok.
You just fucking like the Van Gogh one. Fuck off. No, I'm serious. Like, is not the ending of? I think the ending of this one is better than the ending of the Van Gogh one.
No, the ending of the Van Gogh one fucking rules. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen it.
Well, she kills Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh, yeah, and then she like draws a pentagram with his blood, and she teleports to hell with the sonic screwdriver. It's cool.
That's really cool and makes a lot of sense. Well, speaking of the sonic screwdriver, Tesla asks what it is, and she says that she made it out of spoons.
Fuck yeah! What if she
either
made
random
it,
or
that
true?
That is canon. She made it out of Sheffield steel from scrap metal.
Nice.
Oh, like Sheffield. What if she had made it out of sporks?
The same stuff they made the fucking Spitfire out of, innit?
That is
Sheffield
pretty
steel.
Sheffield.
This is where he like perks up. He's like, "Oh, a fellow inventor," and they bond over their mutual love of discovery and feelings of alienation. And
nice.
He admits that his optimism's kind of been dampened since he came to America and started dealing with haters. And
wait, he says he's like gonna die broke really soon.
Is he wrong?
Right? Like
he is a visionary.
No. He can see into the future. He knows that he's going to be penniless with a carton of empty Nabisco crackers or whatever.
And he's right, because right then and there they get a telegram from an investor saying no money for Wardenclyffe Tower, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And then there's a camera
that
flash.
That investor in real life, by the way, J.P. Morgan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did say Mr. Morgan.
Mr. Morgan.
For real in real life, yeah.
He's the guy who cut his funding.
Thank you, J.P. Morgan.
Thank you, J.P. Morgan. Don't ever say those words out loud, ever.
So anyway, the
I
guy
say them every day at the start of work.
The guy who takes a picture with the camera from outside is Harold Green. He's the bowler hat man. He's one of Edison's spies. And Tesla tells them what a son of a bitch that Thomas Edison is.
Can we agree that he's one of Edison's goons?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, boys.
His bowler hat might as well say professional.
Let's go electrocute that elephant.
That had nothing to do with Edison.
We never saw the electrocution of the elephant, and
did that actually not have anything to do with Edison?
No, I looked that up because I was reading about the current wars, and apparently that happened like 10 years later, and Edison had nothing to do with it.
Shit.
Yeah. What is up with... I don't know anything about Edison.
That should have been debunked. I don't know anything about what Edison was like as a person.
Are you saying there should have been a moment where the doctor's like, and you'll notice there's no elephants being electrocuted?
I'm relying on this episode to shape my understanding of Thomas Edison for the rest of my life.
Well, I feel like everything I ever learned about Edison and Tesla has been a complete lie, and I just don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I don't think Edison was like the world's greatest inventor, but he did do shit, and I don't think Tesla really did.
We'll talk more about the question of Edison and Tesla, I think, about the end of the episode, because the episode ends asking the viewer to sort of think on it.
Figure it out.
So the doctor takes Ryan and Graham to go question Edison, and they find him making a speech about how Tesla is a piece of shit. And she's
in an incredible American accent. He says at one point, "You got the wrong inventor. It's Nikola Tesla's been talking to Mars."
I didn't look up whether this guy was an American actor or not.
No one
in the world. There's no way he was an American actor. Of course he's a British guy doing it. Everyone in this episode is British doing an American accent.
Listen, the last time we experienced American accents and Jodie Whittaker in the same place, it was with fucking Rosa Parks' flapper girl voice.
Dorothy
really
Skerritt
something.
Has a solid, like, New York
her accent
but
is actually
she's Canadian.
She only has it 40% of the time.
She is Canadian. This guy is indeed English. Yeah. I will say, whenever I was, like, telling Lauren what was happening in this episode, I was like, so then Edison is like, oh, and I think that... And I was like, wait, he's American. Why am I doing a British accent?
Mummy, it's me, Stewie Griffin.
Oh, that rotten Tesla.
How's that electrical current you've been working on, Brian?
Shut up.
Shut up.
So they show him the alien blaster that the guy was chasing them with.
Silurian blaster, yeah.
Is that a thing?
And the Silurians are a major alien, yeah.
Okay. He's like, okay, we'll talk about that in private. He leads them through his workshop, and Ryan and Graham are like, this guy seems like an egotistical son of a bitch. I hate him.
This guy probably electrocuted an elephant. Every 10 minutes in this episode, Edison is just like, be right back, and then he walks off screen, you see a flash of electricity, and then you hear an elephant trumpet, and then a big thud. That was every 10 minutes, like clockwork.
The Big Apple! So Edison tells them in his office about the story. This is from from Tesla's autobiography, that Tesla was working for Edison's company, and Edison said, if anyone can fix this generator, I'll give them $50,000. And Tesla worked on it day in and day out for a year, and he fixed it. And Edison said, I'll give you a $10 raise. And Tesla quit. And Edison was like, he just doesn't understand. He just doesn't understand the American sense of humor, he doesn't. And then that is maybe true. I don't know.
I think my understanding is that we don't know if it's true or not about the money.
It's been disputed by different sources. But I mean, we saw it happen.
The storytelling lens of it, though, is that this is the reason Tesla and Edison are enemies. Right? Like, this is their dividing incident.
It is kind of weird, I guess, from the perspective of there are multiple versions of this story and no one knows which one is really true. It is weird that the one that they picked to decide was true doesn't really thematically relate to anything that's happening in the episode.
Doesn't connect to the Tesla-Edison rivalry, doesn't connect to the story, doesn't connect to the question of inventing versus paying for inventions.
But I guess on a meta level, it would, if they took any other person's word for it besides Tesla, that would have been weird.
You can't, yeah.
Meanwhile, Yaz is talking to Tesla, and he's like, where's all your cool bubbling flasks and stuff? And he's like, I keep my bubbling flasks up here in my head.
And she goes, that's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, we blew all the budget on the MILF lady effect.
I have a note about the budget.
That's not a lot of budget if they blew it on her effects, anyway.
He talks about Wardenclyffe and his dream of a world where you can listen to music or great speeches, or you can look at maps no matter where you are. And she's like, that's Wi-Fi, isn't it?
He's like, I would dream of a world where you can watch a video of a person cutting up a bar of soap, someone running on top of a subway train, and a person doing a K-pop dance whenever you want.
And Yaz literally says to him when he says this, now that sounds like the future.
And then she shoots him with a gun. I can't let that the orb starts glowing. Meanwhile, I don't understand this scene where there's just like one of Edison's scientists is like working on something, and there's just some goober who's like, what's that do?
The goober is the evil guy, and he kills them all.
I thought it was
the goober...
Is the goober different from the evil guy?
Yes, no, the dead guy walks in with glowing red eyes, and then
starts he doesn't...
yeah, but I thought he was also the guy tinkering with...
No, different. But the dead guy, the evil...
Stupid.
The evil guy walks in, and he does an AoE, and he kills every single person in the room with a big area of effect attack.
Except for the
one
but it has
scientist. A really long lead-up animation.
The one scientist who is being annoyed by Goober, he's still alive, and then he isn't. So I don't really know what the point of that was.
The point was terror, right? Like, it's an effective children's scary thing where everyone's gone, I'm hiding behind the desk, and then he sees me.
Yeah, I just think true. This show has done accessible children's horror so much better than it. I thought this was going to be Tesla running around his laboratory at night. It's the night. Nikola Tesla in the night.
Nothing happens
I
at
thought
night.
I thought it was going to be, just not to keep talking about patreon.com/pottingbros for $1, but I thought this was going to be like, what if Tesla was in the lighthouse at Fang Rock, and they're all locked in Tesla's big funky laboratory, and there's a big ball of lightning monster running around zapping people, and Tesla's there. This whole episode takes place during the daytime, and the monster is an alien invasion of fucking Marvel Scorpion MILFs. Like, what is this?
I really
They're
like
not
the idea,
all
though.
MILFs. If they were all MILFs, it would be so much hotter. Some of them are gross bugs.
I beg to differ.
I really like the idea that they would get like 10 minutes into the episode, they're being chased by the glowing red eyes guy with the Silurian blaster, and they escape, and it's nighttime, and he's like, that really was my night of terror. And then they all just kind of stand there for a second, and they're like,
we do.
Well,
that's the
anyway,
newspaper title in the last shot, though. Tesla's Night of Terror is the
thing on the
tabloid
newspaper.
title.
You know what? The very end is at night, actually.
It is.
Yeah, whatever.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So it actually makes sense.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I like the episode.
I like when they confront Edison and they're like, something bad is happening, and he's like, you're damn right something bad is happening. My spy at Niagara Falls stopped contacting me. I mean...
You're damn right something bad is happening. Have you read these protocols?
Have you seen the Oval Office?
They're doing what with the blood of Christian children? Sorry. We need to stop with the anti-Semitism.
I cannot be pushing on it, and I apologize for that again.
It's fine.
It's very of its time. Harold Green from before, he bursts in and he's got red eyes. And then you know who else bursts in with red eyes? It's the scientist from before. And then, or wait, does that happen later? I don't remember. No, that happens later. But he's also red eyes later.
There's two red eyes guys, yeah.
Yeah. So they run away. They go into his lab, his other lab.
His real lab.
She's...
The one with stuff and bombs and chemicals.
This is a very, like, do you get it part where she's, like, looking around and she's like, Edison, where do you keep your zinc? And he's like, what the hell would you need zinc for? And then he's like, oh, right. Science! I forgot about that.
Well, maybe
I've been too busy running a business.
You've really rekindled my love for science. Thank you, Doctor. I'm gonna invent a death ray.
I'm gonna invent this MARDIS.
I'm gonna go work on inventing the nuclear bomb just in time for World War I.
I'm gonna invent podcasts. I hope nobody ever makes fun of me on one of those.
That's true. Thomas Edison, one thing that we can't dispute that he did invent is he invented the phonograph. So he is our patron saint of podcasting. Thank you, sir.
He is also one of our patrons.
He is one of our patrons. Thank you for our $1. I feel like you could afford to give us a little more.
He could Santa bump that up.
He actually downgraded to 75 cents.
Well, you know, inflation, right? He died like 100 years ago, so...
So, zombie Harold Green, like, stomps into the lab, and he steps into this circle of zinc that the doctor has made, and she lights it on fire, so now it's trapped in a fire circle.
Speaking of creating a pentagram on the ground, and the doctor does the thing that she loves to do, which is talk to an alien that seems completely nonverbal. I thought that she was, like, expecting it to be like, okay,
but what we learned later, it makes no sense that they're acting like zombies. It could talk to her. They talk later.
She could talk like a MILF.
But they're just walking around like...
They don't talk. They kind of open their mouth and a sound plays.
One of them literally speaks later to the MILF Queen.
No, he just holds his mouth open while he talks. He's not moving it up and down.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. But anyway, she's interrogating it. She says, like, show me your true form.
Show me your true form.
Then it goes all nasty
and
then
like,
he does it, which is
rude.
Very rude. Meanwhile,
I'd show the doctor my true form.
Meanwhile, Yaz is where the dead scientist and the dead spy from earlier they walk in with laser guns, and they're like, we're here for you, not the orb, Tesla. And they grab him and teleport away, but Yaz grabs on first, so she also gets teleported away. And then Dorothy's standing there like, well.
In a scene that makes no sense.
Yeah. The teleporting effect is...
Why is there a teleport grabby that Yaz is in, but... why is Dorothy Scarrett not interesting to them?
We have long since desired the services of a secretary. Come with us to help us make our appointments.
I mean, she's not just his secretary, right? Like the show, if anything, if we're agreeing that this is the Dorothy Scarrett history episode and not the Nikola Tesla episode, she seems to have done a lot for him.
Yeah, I think I wrote in my notes that she's his secretary because that's what Wikipedia called her. But yeah, she did seem like his assistant more than anything.
Yeah, like, not just his assistant, but, like, his person who reminds him that he has to talk to people like they're people because they expect that, and then, like, right? Like, she, there's a point where there's an electrocution at the beginning, and she says, but we'd be happy to look, Mr. Tesla would be happy to look at his machines to ensure that there's no risk. And he's
She's
like, oh,
the
yeah,
Watson
I
to
would.
his Sherlock. It's the dynamic.
Yeah.
Lauren didn't like that.
I liked her, and I liked her characterization, and I've never seen her in any fucking anything that was about Tesla and historical fiction.
I love to talk about this show's relationship to Watson and Sherlock, and Stephen Moffat's take on Watson and Sherlock, and
God, that needs to be a different show.
Speaking of the Yaz test, folks, let me tell you, Yaz
has lines. Are they important lines? No. Are they lines that are specifically lines only Yaz could have had? No.
None of the companions.
But there's one thing she knows,
Does
and
she
it's
do
selfies.
anything? No.
None of the
kids these days and their damn cameras.
They love radar, though.
That's right. There's a part where she's talking to Tesla and she's like, oh, like radar. And he's like, radar? What's that? And she's like, you'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, radar is one of the many
I have the exact
inventions
interaction here because it's
Tesla's.
To me, this is one of the funniest conversations in the entire
Let's
episode.
hear it.
She says to Tesla, mapping things with electrical waves, radar, and he says, oh, I've been thinking of a similar problem myself. I call it my exploring wave.
That's pretty cool.
Cowabunga, dude.
And that's so, like, to me, that is very prototypically, archetypally Doctor Who history episode where someone says something that no person would ever say just so that the history person can say, that reminds me.
I was thinking about doing a painting where it's like it's like a night sky, but it's all fucked up and wavy. And Van Gogh's like, I was thinking... Marvin,
you remind me of the way I process the light of the stars myself.
It's me, your cousin, Marvin Knight. You want that new art style? You want to listen to this? Oh, so they teleport onto a scary ship.
Marvin Knight.
Yeah, Marvin Knight. They teleport onto a big, scary alien ship, and then Yaz...
Marvin Knight of 1,000 Terrors?
Yaz looks at Tesla, and she says, where are we? And also, when are we? The doctor didn't tell me what year we are in specifically, and then he tells her the year, and then...
Got that in?
Yeah.
So here's what happens, okay?
I have to say, sorry, just as a longtime Doctor Who person, that is the best part of the entire show. When someone says, and Doctor... when are we? Like, that makes me laugh, that makes me scream, that makes me exclaim, that makes me slap my thigh in laughter.
When we watched the worst episode we've ever seen, which was Once Upon Time, the doctor literally said, where are we, when are we? And
God, Flux is so bad.
I felt nothing because of how much I hated Flux.
I'm so excited to watch more of it,
I don't want to see fucking second more of it.
I promise you that it's stupider than you've seen.
Thank God. Were you saying something, or can I?
Well, Yaz is like, I have a new invention. It's a Tamagotchi for your fetus. Oh, I was thinking about making something like that, and I'll call it the Tinky.
Anyway. So what happens is Tesla and Yaz appear on an alien ship full of laser scorpions. And the laser scorpion MILF queen comes out and goes, welcome, Nikola Tesla.
He's not lying, listener. She is a laser scorpion MILF queen.
Here's some features of laser scorpion MILF queen. Lots of horns, check. Teeth that look like they're upside down, so the roots of the teeth are at the bottom.
Teeth that look like they've been glued onto other teeth, but not like ascending, descending from them, like overlapping.
Can you see this actress's like natural skin color peeking out through the eyes where they like didn't fill in the makeup for her face? Yeah. That was a weird choice. I thought that
they gave the MILF queen weird like eyeline. I don't know. Anyway.
So, I mean, her costume is literally just reused from season 3, so.
It's a crazy-ass thing to make a person look like.
Like, the entire headset and the horns and all of that, it was a monster in season 3.
I want to say, I thought she was great. I loved how I feel like every motion of her face, she just did it like 3 times as much as any normal person would.
There's that post
because of the prosthetics, unfortunately. I mean, like, it's funny that she does overemphasize with her face, but that's also the only way she can get the alien face to move.
I thought it was great.
It was very, like, tokusatsu to me, the way she's, like, over-animating, but it made me think of, like, you know, that...
That's right, the BBC actually bought this from Kamen Rider.
Did the one that's, like, she breasted boobily up the stairs or whatever. It was like she bugged buggily around. She's just, like...
She scorpily.
I like her laser scorpion tail that just, like, twice just shoots stuff.
I don't think they emphasize the scorpionness of her, though. I wish she was slightly buggier.
I thought it was really funny, and this is what I wanted to say about the budget, because we see a lot of CGI scorpions in the background of a lot of shots.
And CGI transforms. Like, whenever they teleport, it's CGI. All that stuff is very CGI.
And then we see her, who's wearing a big costume. But then there's, like, I think there's 3 or maybe 4 of her, like, henchmen, who we learn from the Doctor are all scorpion people like her, but they're wearing projections of human forms so that they can fit in. But even when they go back to the mothership, they never take those projections off because it presumably would have been a waste of effort to put the costumes on all of them.
Oh, my queen.
I just found that delightful.
I like the part where one of the bug boys tries to, like, mansplain to her and she kills him.
Yes, I also liked that. It was mega. I thought it was very funny and very... Again, I have no horse in this race, the Tesla versus Edison thing, but the way that they jack off Tesla here, where we learn that the whole point of the aliens, this is what the orb was for, was that they were looking for the most epic scientist that the world has to offer. And they were like, it's gotta be Tesla. And they're like, you are going to make stuff for us.
They put him on
6.5 billion people on this rock, and not one of them can fix a tractor.
They put him on the ship. They're like, okay, now fix our interstellar warp core. And he's like, I don't even know what electrons are yet. And then they get rid of him.
Did he not know? I mean, you said that. Did he not know of the electron?
I don't think the electron was discovered while he was alive.
I feel like that would have to be a big thing you would want to know about in order to develop.
They discovered electricity,
wireless power transfer.
Okay, Tesla died in 1943, and the electron.
I thought that Benjamin Franklin knew about electrons.
No, electrons were discovered in like the early They were discovered
some French guy, yeah,
1897. So Tesla was alive when they discovered electrons.
But he was never quite convinced.
Wait, I think it was the proton that was discovered after the...
Oh, we should cut this then.
Yeah.
Well, how did they not know about the proton? It's so much bigger and easier to see.
The proton was discovered in like the 1920s. But that has nothing to do with electricity.
Anyway, okay. For the love of God. So, the Doctor... I don't want to get too hung up on this, but I do want to get hung up on this because this is the kind of person that I am. I was just watching that second Doctor episode where they're like on Earth and they're like, we can't take the TARDIS to the moon. We might overshoot it by 1,000,000 miles. And here the Doctor is like just taking the TARDIS around New York City.
Driving her Tesla around.
They have never squared that circle. That is a problem forever.
The Doctor would
it's not a big deal, but I did find it funny.
The Doctor would love to drive around in a Tesla. It'd be so cool.
Maybe she's just gotten better at piloting.
Yeah. I don't know. No, it's ever since they had their epic romance, her and the sexy TARDIS, the sexy hot TARDIS that fucks. It's just been cooperating more with her.
Oh God, they got a Pokemon gym badge, and now it listens to them. So they get on the TARDIS
not
with
how
Dorothy.
You earn. What have you been playing? You've been playing a very different game. If you think that's how you earn Pokemon gym badges, Sam.
What?
Did you earn Pokemon gym badges by having sex? With
what?
Well, I was saying that the Doctor like had sex with the TARDIS, and that's why the TARDIS.
What version have you been playing?
The one where you fight little guys, not the Pokemon.
I've been playing Pokemon Triple
Jordan,
X.
You haven't been playing
I'll
Poke
bet you
Girls?
$1 billion the Doctor never has sex with the TARDIS.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think the Doctor has sex with the TARDIS.
Every time you say it, I believe it less. So she gets on the TARDIS with Dorothy and who the fuck is she with now? Graham and Ryan, yes. She makes a contraption, and she plugs the orb into it, and it finds the ship, but it's cloaked, so she can't get to it, but she can with a bracelet. Yes?
Yeah,
right?
The bracelet is part of the teleporter that she says she bought at a flea market.
I really like this part where they're like, look, you and the doctor are both the same. You are both inventors. And the doctor's just like picking up shit off the floor and sticking it together and making a teleporter.
Well, the doctor's kind of plugging a teleporter into a
That's
beer
good, though. That's the kind of shit
stand.
I want to see the doctor
The
doing.
professor and his wife, a movie star. She's just making radios out of coconuts. Fuck it. Why not?
The Skithra Queen is the name of the alien they're dealing with, and she is she's telling him to work on shit. He's like looking around and yeah, you're right. This is the thing from earlier. He's like, this is one of my electrical condensers.
We are big fans of yours, Epic Tesla.
Which is why the first guy was electrocuted, because the condenser was missing from the machine because the Skithra stole it.
That makes sense. I didn't put it together. And neither did she. Anyway. So Ryan says something about like Tesla is so smart he probably found them already, and Dorothy realizes that that's what the Mars signal was that they got at Wardenclyffe. Is that right?
Sure, something like that.
Good. So they go to Wardenclyffe. We're over here. This is where all of his contraptions are. This is where they find the death ray, and Ryan and Graham look at it and they're like, oh boy.
Tucking at collar. They're all just like, literally, we see Wardenclyffe and you're like, wow, this is a laboratory. And it's just a room full of, it's basically a museum full of Tesla contraptions. Like, there is no lab. It's just tables.
Nikola Tesla's Museum of Failure.
Tables!
And they're all just boxed up. And there's a wonderful scene where they're just flipping through things and going, battery excerpt. No.
No.
Cuddly best friend. No. Death ray Mark III. Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
We should
mention that Edison is here, and he's looking around, and Dorothy's like, you get your fucking hands off that shit.
I liked Dorothy just staring daggers at Edison the entire episode. That was awesome. Yeah. She's like, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but I know that if no one else was here, I would kill you.
Bark, bark, bite, bite, boo, boo, hiss. She's gonna kill this guy.
And then Graham, for no reason, like, pulls Edison aside and is like, you listen here, you motherfucker.
Listen here, bitch, I read the fucking oatmeal article. How dare you treat my boy Tesla like that, you fraud.
He says, I bet you wish Tesla was working for you again. You know, I had a supervisor like you once, and men like you never pay attention to someone unless you think there's a payout coming. And I'm just like, Graham, do you like want to talk about something?
Let me tell you, if I could have kicked you off that bus that day, I totally would have done it.
I think that seems nice, because Tesla's frustration with Edison is personal and idiosyncratic and historic. But Graham says, I've had a shitty boss. Everyone watching has had a shitty boss.
But Graham is a working class king. I can sympathize with his plot.
When Graham's like, I had a shitty boss and it sucked. Don't be my shitty boss to this guy, because he's real. And you know, I think as the viewer, you're supposed to be like, yeah,
I think
my dad had a shitty boss.
Yeah, everyone should have. My dad had a shitty boss, and he bought my mom that really fancy, expensive bracelet, and I didn't know what was going on there. I think everyone should have teamed up on Thomas Edison at that moment.
The end of the episodes, they all just get around him in a circle and just kick his ass. Be nicer. So, Tesla and Yaz are looking for a way to escape, but he was like prepared to give up, and then Yaz like reminds him that they shouldn't serve evil scorpions, and he's like, oh, you're right. And then the Skithra walk in and they're like, are you ready to get to work? And he's like, no.
Yaz does kind of do something. She encourages Tesla not to give up.
That's true.
Which anyone could do. But she does.
That's true.
He says something to the Scorpions where he's like, this is not my vision of progress.
That was so weird. Like, why wouldn't a spaceship be his version of progress?
Shouldn't he be hopping on that thing the second it arrives and they say, do you want to go explore the stars with us? And he's like,
spaceship.
Fuck yes.
I respect that he says, no, I don't want to fix your weapons and help you wage war.
I want to make my weapons and wage my war here on Earth.
But truly, I mean, the promise, the offer of the Skithra Queen to Tesla is, stay on my ship, fix my weapons, and we'll conquer the universe and take everything. Or I'll kill everyone on Earth.
He knows that World War...
I'll let you make your Death Ray Mark IV.
He knows World War I is coming up, and he cannot wait to be zapping some people from the European countries he hates. He's so ready for it.
So she orders her fellow Scorpions to kill Yaz, and meanwhile the Doctor finds... This is where she finds the teleporter, the Braxium Bouncer. And she says, we can't use the TARDIS because of the cloaking field, but this thing will work, I guess, so that's fine.
Because the TARDIS's field is being set around the tower.
But here's the trick of the Braxium Bouncer, is it takes a little bit of time to recharge between each teleport, so she'll have to stall before she can come back.
The Doctor stalling, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, you'll believe it very soon.
13 really prefers, I think, to... And this is different from other Doctors. She is not as interested in confrontation as she is in stalling until her plan works.
That is a very consistent thing about her. That is true.
I feel like that's something that all the Doctors do, but I could be wrong.
They do, but also some of them will, shoot aliens with a laser gun.
Like Matt Smith did that whole thing where the whole episode he was just
13 would, get arrested so that her plan works, right?
You've seen more of 13 than I have. But 11th Doctor did that thing with the Weeping Angels where he's, stalling, and he's like, wait a minute, flip them upside down, and then they all get sucked into the erase them from existence portal until they come back later in a video game.
Yeah, I mean...
I was going to say we didn't see that episode, and then I realized that the ending of the first part of that two-parter was the same as the ending of the second part. This is the part where the Queen of the Skithra meets the Doctor. She teleports up here, and the Doctor is like, oh, this is your ship? Because to me it looks like a Venusian ship, and that's a Klendov warp drive. You don't make any of your own stuff. You just steal it like Edison, prick.
Yeah, I think it's clever to say Edison's Ideas Factory is not unlike, the show says, the Skithra's stolen technology, right? He didn't invent this, the Skithra didn't build this, and therefore in some way they are bankrupt and unable to adapt it.
I would have only accepted that parallel if the Skithra Queen had pulled out her list of patents and been like, and this I patented, and this I also patented.
There was a part where Edison literally is like, what do I need to spy on Tesla for? I have 1,000 patents.
He makes a good fucking point, though. He makes a point, though. He fucking patented everything. What does he need?
We have to talk about it at the end. We have to talk about it at the end, or we'll talk about it forever.
Yeah.
So the Doctor is stalling. What does she do? She's like, why did you want Tesla specifically? One of the other zombos is like, well, she wanted Tesla because, and then this is where she kills him for trying to answer for her. And then, oh yes, we learn that this was the signal from Mars, and Tesla signaled back. And
yes, this is a big deal. While they're on the alien spaceship, it's revealed to the Doctor and to Yaz that not only did Tesla receive the signal that he believed was from Mars, but that he signaled back. And they're like, you moron!
It is very strange that the Skithra apparently took that as him being like, come over, Wink.
I want to be on your spaceship.
Well, that is kind of how it works for Wen Jie and the Three-Body Problem, anyway.
So the Queen decides to kill the Doctor.
She does a real shit job at it, though.
But then the Doctor...
Yeah, for an alien with a laser gun tail, you would think she would shoot the Doctor.
But the Doctor starts stalling, and she tries to make herself seem more useful than Tesla, because she's, picking stuff up off the ground, and she's like, this is a Gorbadorbian coffee grinder, and this
He doesn't know anything about the Gorbadorbians.
And do you want to know what this beautiful contraption is? Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
you passed Yaz, help us out, because help us out in a way that only Yaz can help out.
Button.
Press the X button to activate.
She doesn't even press the button, though. Yaz is just like, that's a camera, Doctor.
Oh, yeah, and then the Doctor presses the button on the flash.
I can count on Yaz to tell me what a camera is. Click. I give Yaz a hard time.
And then, they get blinded by the camera flash, and the Doctor teleports them back. And then Tesla sees Edison in his lab, and he's like, now you listen here, you motherfucker.
I really like that despite the aliens, Tesla sees Edison and is like, this is on site.
I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
No, I can't put aside our differences.
This is when Edison says, me an intellectual, the interdimensionals transcends the external environment or whatever.
Yeah, and everyone applauds Tesla for Big Bang theorifying bigger on the inside.
Sucking his... No, wait, he never... Never mind. That's one thing that we can't say this episode jerks Tesla off.
That's true, Tesla does suck himself off on screen.
Yeah, well, he invented that rib removing machine.
Well, he had the idea for it. Someone else invented it.
He never got around to it. They're like looking through... There's the Death Ray Mark III, and what is this?
My God, Tesla wanted to remove 2 ribs.
He's just
my vision of a wireless world and a ribless torso for men.
He drops something. He drops like a measuring tape, and he goes to pick it up, and he just like leans all the way between his legs, and they're like, "What? I did not just see him do that."
So. The doctor, like, emails the Skithra Queen and tells her to fuck off, and the Skithra Queen says, okay, we're gonna kill everyone on Earth then. And the doctor's like, oh, shit.
Hey, Tesla, do you mind hopping on their spaceship and just going and seeing the stars with them? And he's like,
I've had a long week. It would be way easier for me if you went with them.
I mean, they're all gonna die one day. I've seen the episode. Maybe if the Skithra start attacking, the whale will show up.
That damn whale keeps saving the day. The doctor gives Tesla a pep talk, and she's like, "Bro, the aliens want your dick. Think how cool that makes you." And he's like,
Nikola motherfucking Tesla, the baddest.
I like that scene a lot because it was. I mean, like, if you are a crazy person, that is the ultimate compliment.
Oh yeah, that aliens thought you were the coolest guy on Earth, and then she's like, "And you know who they didn't want?
Edison."
And then he really smiles. He's
like, he's so funny for this one.
I love that though. I love that he's like, the one thing that cheers him up more than anything else is the thought that Edison is fuming.
It's awesome. Like, truly, it's awesome.
It's great. And then she's like, all right, we're gonna save the world. Tell me about Wardenclyffe. And he explains the technology behind his tower.
What if
Edison just like stands in the background with his arms crossed?
With the schematics on a computer screen, yeah.
But what if we converted it into a big gun? Whoa!
And what if we forgot that for all episode, the Doctor has suddenly decided she's Batman and doesn't like guns unless they're lightning guns.
There's a part where Ryan is holding the Altuvian blaster box,
yeah,
and she's
like, not a problem with that at all.
She's like, she sees him, and
Edison, where did you get that gun?
No,
like,
the other way around.
I'm a New Yorker.
Brian's carrying the boomstick, and she's like, put that down, Ryan. Don't even use it on Tim Shaw. And then he's like, oh, sorry, doctor. And then Edison pulls out his gun, and she's like, fuck you, Edison. And then she says, what if we turned Wardenclyffe Tower into a big gun?
Ryan pulls out the death ray, and she's like, "That's fine. That's fine.
You can, yeah. As long as you put the alien, this Skithra Queen, into a box for all of eternity, that's the only way I'm allowed.
There's
to kill
literally
people.
A part because what ends up happening when they do fire the lightning blaster from Wardenclyffe Tower is that they're like, "We did it. They're retreating."
Well,
but there's a part before that where she literally says, "They're a hive race. If we take out the queen, we take out all of them." So in her mind, she's going to kill the queen.
I have a headcanon there.
I think the only explanation is that if we kill the queen, the hive mind will just leave Earth.
I have a headcanon, and it's that when they zapped the ship, it triggered some sort of technological cascade from their warp drive and sent them back in time so that they could hang out with the racist guy.
That.
They fired a space slingshot at the
single
fucking gear shift to put it in reverse right before the navigator hit the accelerator.
Every episode where the villain gets disappeared, they just go back in time to hang out with Crimbo, the racist time traveling. What was that guy's name? Skimber?
We call him I call him Klasky. I don't think that's right.
I think it was Krasko.
I think it was Krasko.
Cusco. Anyways, yeah. So Edison's got a cool gun. They're gonna the plan is they're gonna convert Wardenclyffe Tower into a big gun. Tesla and Yaz are tasked with clearing the streets to make sure everyone's safe from the Scorpion MILF. And Ryan...
There's one guy who's like, Scorpion MILF? No, I'm staying here.
And then Ryan and Graham their job is that they need to fortify Wardenclyffe Tower for the epic horde mode shootout that they're gonna have to have.
I want to give a small shout out to a very dorky moment that I am embarrassed to say I do always enjoy.
Cringe.
Which is...
Cringe.
The part where the Doctor and Tesla are like talking about their plan, and he's like, "Oh, the big lightning bolt," and she's like, "Yeah," and she goes for a high five, and he just looks at her like, "What the fuck is that?"
Awesome.
And she's like,
"Yeah, I like that."
And she's like, "Oh, too early."
Yeah,
I like
Tesla, the inventor of the high five.
He actually planned on using both hands.
Do you know that there's like a documented first high five? Like there is a...
Yes, there is. Manu Bull.
Is that right?
Yeah. It was...
oh, no, he did. I'm bad.
It was Dusty Baker in 1977 hit a home run while he was playing for the Dodgers, and a rookie named Glenn Burke met him at home plate, raised his hand up, and then Baker slapped his hand, and that was the first recorded high five ever.
And then everybody in the stadium looked at them like they were crazy. Why are you attacking his hand?
Also, and crucially, though, this was 1977.
That's a lot more recent than I would have guessed.
The high five did not exist.
If you haven't gone onto the Wikipedia page for high five, it is one of the most magical places on Earth because there is a whole section of these two people doing high five, down low, too slow, try again, too slow. And then there's two people doing an air high five. It's a wonderful.
Tesla actually wanted to do a down low high five. Edison wanted to do an up high high five, and it actually got really vicious between them.
Hold on, I'm posting this in podcast chat. You got to see this, Sam. You're gonna like it. It's not good audio, but it is good experience.
Well, I'll see if I can make it good audio.
Here you go. Posting it in podcast chat. This is on Wikipedia.
Victim miss. No, I think I have seen this before.
Up high,
too
down
slow.
Low. Victim
with
misses
finger guns.
Too slow with. I fucking love this.
Her expression of contrition in the last panel.
She looks like she just survived World War I, and she's like back in the war hospital.
She just escaped a concentration camp, and she's in a famous war photo.
No.
I also like the hyperlink to finger guns. I also like, this reminds me of being a kid. It genuinely hurt when someone down low too slowed you. It would legitimately make me very angry.
I just like these two people who are like, let's put ourselves on the Wikipedia page for high five by doing this. And then they did. And they're still on there, and I appreciate them.
There's a lot of people like that on Wikipedia. You know that if you go to like the Wikipedia article for like erect penis, it's like own work.
Big.
I don't know if this is actually true.
Big floppy dong.
Let's move on. So yeah, this is where Edison and Yaz stop a Skithra from killing a little boy, and then teleporting scorpions start chasing them around the city.
And listen, thank God Edison had his pieces. He just starts blasting. Bang! Bang! Bang!
He does not. He shoots one shot at a person who's already gone.
But he don't see so good, so he didn't really get that.
Okay, but if we're talking about the Yaz test, we have got to talk about Yaz knocking over a bread cart.
She saved the day when she knocked over that bread cart.
She did?
And then they just move on, and we don't even see if it trips up.
I was literally thinking the same thing. I was like, wait, are they going to, like, slip on the bread? Or did she just, like, destroy a baker's day of productivity?
They're running, and she's like, wait a minute, Edison, hold on. And he's like, what is it? She's like, I hate bread.
It would be, if this was a Marvel movie.
I'm keto.
If this was a Marvel movie, you know that she would be like, gluten-free. She would look at Edison, gluten-free? And then he would go, what's gluten? And then she said, you'll find out later. And then they would keep
People
running.
shouldn't be eating bread anyway.
I think if it were a Marvel movie, they'd end on what's gluten, and she would cast him a look.
She would give the DreamWorks.
No, I think they would say gluten about 10 more times, like when they said shawarma 10 times.
God, shawarma's the funniest thing.
Fuck,
Because
dude.
what if Loki said shawarma?
And then they find an inexplicable secret tunnel to Warden
Secret tunnel!
Yeah, well, actually, that's not inexplicable. That was a real tunnel that really existed. There were 4 of them, and they were supposed to be filled with salt water so that Tesla could use the salt water to channel the Earth's electrical current.
This was when Tesla was trying to free all the mole children under New York City.
No, there are 4 100-meter tunnels radiating north, south, east, and west under the central pillar of Wardenclyffe.
First of all, that's amazing, and I didn't know that. Second of all,
hold on.
They should have arrived at Wardenclyffe and been, like, dripping wet and, like, shaking off, and Tesla's like...
Hold on a second.
You didn't use the tunnels, did you?
So this episode gets so much shit wrong about Tesla, but you know that they were mapping out...
This episode, for all of it does about its story, I think fundamentally wants to take as many true story, fact, real things about Tesla as possible.
Yeah,
right?
including his deep underground military bases, yeah.
There needed to be like little High School Musical pop-ups on screen when it's like, this was actually real. We didn't make this one up.
This was real, but he thought it would let him channel the Earth's core.
No, I always get mad though, because we make this joke sometimes about the High School, but I think all media, like when I'm watching TV shows, I do wish that there was a pop-up that told me, like, this character is lying, or like this scene is actually, so in this scene you're supposed to be sympathizing with this character because actually, or like this character is secretly, I just think it would make the whole experience a lot easier to watch.
No, I'm just a grown-up. I don't need it.
Like when I'm watching House of the Dragon, I just gotta know who I'm supposed to be rooting for. It's so confusing.
This is a dragon.
This is a dragon, and dragons kill people. Oh!
This is a dragon. It's big. Meanwhile, Skithra scorpions surround Wardenclyffe, but the Doctor has surrounded it with the shields from the TARDIS. They barricade the door shut. Now it's nighttime. We made it.
But
it's
Sam,
Tesla's Night of Terror.
But Sam, in order to fire the laser,
Tesla's Dusk of Terror,
they're gonna have to turn off the shields. Oh no!
So they do, and it's fine.
It is fine. Even though it shouldn't be fine, it's totally fine.
Graham does try to fire the death ray. It doesn't work.
There's there's a companion's epic moment here where Dorothy is like, but if you take down the shields, what will keep out the Skithra scorpion soldiers? And Ryan and Graham look at her and they're like, we will. And I was like, hell yeah, dude.
I wish that Graham would have driven a bus through the Skithra.
It is awesome when they're like, this is what we're here for. This is what we do.
But the Doctor doesn't like it when you guys kill people.
Well, no, see,
but they can keep them out of a door.
This is the thing, though, is that they only have experienced defeating enemies through crouching, and the enemies shoot each other and kill each other. So they're like, we'll just get in between them and then duck.
Is this pre or post Tim Shaw?
This is post.
So this is after Graham and Ryan have proved themselves in the battlefield, and the Doctor has
sanctioned. This is their second season.
The Doctor has sanctioned them as being having the right to take lives.
Since we last met them, their KD ratio has improved massively.
Just really blasted up into the sky.
They're still on 0 deaths, actually, which is pretty good for both of them. But so this is where the Doctor, like, she takes the shields down, she starts charging up the tower.
That's not true that they're on 0 deaths, but you haven't seen that episode. So.
Okay. The scorpions, like, break the door down, but they don't come inside, and the Doctor's like, uh-oh, the Queen's not on the ship. But
we can't electrocute the ship!
She's right behind us, isn't she?
The Queen walks in, and she's like, this place sucks. And this is where Edison tries to shoot her, but she uses her laser gun to blast the gun out of his hand.
And not to just, like, kill him, which I would have, but...
Right, this is why, historically, Thomas Edison had a hand that got melted off. And she calls... The Doctor calls the Skithra Queen a parasite, and she starts doing one of her classic tricks. And she's like, I don't know what to do. But then she jumps and she tries to grab this thing off the table, and the Queen snatches it away, and she's like, ha ha ha, what were you planning to do with this bracelet?
And this thing, by the way, is the bracelet half of the teleporter.
The bracelet of Omega.
Yeah, it was attached to the teleporter earlier. She puts the bracelet on her arm before she uses it to go on the...
Well, the relevant thing is that the the Scythera Queen gets teleported up to the ship, and then Tesla turns on the tower, and they blast it with a huge bolt of lightning, and then the ship goes, owie, and then it leaves forever.
No,
instantly,
we'll
right
never
away.
Come
Yeah.
back.
I hate getting shot with lightning. I gotta go.
This is my favorite part. Is the next part after that, where it's the night of the Tesla's night of horrors is over. It's daytime again. Don't worry. Don't get too scared, kids. And Yaz is like, Doctor, Tesla saved the world from the Scythera with his Zappy Tower. Surely history will remember him now. And then she's like, no, that's not how that works.
Why would anyone?
No.
I don't know, Yaz, do you remember learning about the time Nikola Tesla fought off the Scorpion Queen?
Did we specify the part where they clear the streets by Edison being like, watch out, that old crazy kook Tesla is testing
right, I forgot.
Yeah, she's trying to get everyone to leave the streets so that they don't die. And she's like, please, you have to go inside. And meanwhile, Edison just walks over to the newspaper pile, grabs
old
the newspaper,
Tesla's
and begins
to,
again. Quote, read out loud. And he pretends to read, Tesla's testing his machine again tonight.
So not only was Yaz present for one of the world's most famous businessmen telling people to run away because Tesla's going to get them all killed, but then she sees Tesla's big tower electrocute a thing, and then she goes, surely this is the shot in the arm that Tesla's tower needs to change the world in our timeline.
Well, we did have that group of journalists with us at Wardenclyffe. Well, now, okay, Chai, I'm curious.
Yeah.
This thing... Where they're like, because what happens is that he drives off the Scythera with Wardenclyffe's lightning laser.
Yeah,
and then
as soon as they appreciate even a single unpleasant experience, they're like, oh, this sucks.
But the news is Tesla tests machine, everything is scary, oh no. Is
correct.
This a historical event that they're gesturing toward?
No, he did not test the machine. He was never allowed to test the machine. He never really tested the machine. He never ran the machine.
Hold on. Because he didn't test Wardenclyffe Tower, but he did have a laboratory in Colorado Springs, and I don't think that history is 100% sure what happened, but there was like a lot of panic about his tests there, and people were like, he's causing lightning storms.
Prestige. The Prestige was nonfiction, right?
Right. So I think when he was like, or whatever happens in that movie, sorry if that's like a spoiler for the Prestige, I don't know.
It is a massive spoiler, yeah.
Oh.
I'll bleep it.
But yeah,
we have a lot of listeners who have been emailing me that they can't wait to watch The Prestige.
I'm gonna watch. But yes, Tesla did have an experimental station in Colorado Springs, and there's a famous picture of his like Tesla coil, like zip zap zippity zapping stuff, and like people were freaking out. And apparently there was like ball lightning. But once again, Tesla mythos. Oh, and St. Elmo's fire.
St. Elmo's fire is real.
Here. People walking along the streets observe sparks jumping between their feet and the ground. Sparks sprang from water line taps when touched. Light bulbs within 100 feet of the lab glowed even when turned off. Horses in a livery stable bolted from their stalls after receiving shocks through their metal shoes. Butterflies were electrocuted, swirling in circles with blue halos of St. Elmo's fire around their wings.
Okay, so half of what you said doesn't show up in any anecdotes of ball lightning, but the rest of it all does.
Okay, so there is an event where people were like, "Oh God, what the hell is Tesla doing?"
Yeah, there was specifically Tesla made ball lightning happen, which is like one of the weirdest electrical phenomena in the world.
Okay, so this is a good episode. So Edison tells Tesla that he did a great job. And he's like, you come back to work for me or you'll be bankrupt in a year. And Tesla's like, good. I can't do that. And then they have a respectful laugh together.
It is quite nice, actually. Edison says to Tesla, look, you're going to be broke. Come back, work for me. And Tesla says, after what I've just seen, I have to work on my own dreams.
And then he died penniless.
I liked it.
It's nice.
I thought that was a nice
Well, yeah.
No, I like it
and
too.
And we know that he'll die penniless, but we know that he wants to pursue his dreams, and it's sweet.
Yeah. I don't know.
We completely left out the running thread through this episode where Dorothy and Ryan are like really vibing because they're like, a day in the life of a visionary's companion, eh?
I mean, Tesla and the Doctor have nice scenes where they empathize with each other, but I really liked Ryan and Dorothy Scarrett getting to say, I thought I would do the normal thing, and I thought I really would, like, be an independent woman and have my own life, but then this miracle man entered my life, and it changed everything. And
his name,
I think, really...
And his name was Jesus Christ, amen.
Do.
Oh. I'm just waiting for the show to have Christian overtones.
This is the part where Yaz is like, is this where everything turns around for Tesla?
Nope.
And the doctor's like, I don't know, Yaz, have you heard of him? And she's like, no.
They get back, and Elon Musk is president of the United States.
I will say, one other thing I really like about the closing lines, the last scene of the episode. The last line is Tesla's, and he says, let them talk. The present is theirs, but the future is mine. Which is sweet, and it's lovely, and you think, oh, that's the kind of thing that, like, a TV writer was really proud of, right? Like,
yeah.
But it turns out to actually be something he said off the cuff in an interview.
Oh, is that right?
It is right. So from Margaret Cheney's book, biography, Tesla, Man Out of Time, about the Marconi, the radio patent, Tesla says, Mr. Pupin called to testify. Yes, Pupin. Called to testify on my behalf as a countryman, went on the side of Mr. Marconi, who after 3 years of legal battle was forced to admit under oath that the transmission of power to long distances is my invention. Tesla paused, then added, says the book, let the future tell the truth and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine.
That's cool.
I like that quote. And then he said,
wrote a listicle
I think that as a writer,
everything.
And then he says,
when you see that quote and you make that the end of your dramatic episode, it's nice, Yeah. You're not putting words in his mouth. You're using his words to button it up.
That's true. I actually do really like that, because the idea of, like, writing deep inspirational dialogue for someone who never said it is
it sucks.
Weird. Yeah, I do. I didn't know that. I like that. That's cool. I liked
a lot
this
of
episode.
This really felt like the writer Nina Mediver. Again, great job, good work, Nina. In my opinion, had read a lot of biographies and was just like, I have to fit as many of these details into the episode.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
because then she can write off all those biographies as a business expense.
Yes.
She's like, I need to take a vacation in New York City.
I give this episode a B. I give it a B.
I give it a C. I'm sorry that I didn't like it as much as you both did. I'm glad you had fun watching it.
I give it an A.
I'm glad you liked it.
I really liked this episode. I liked it even more, I think, when I first saw it. But on the rewatch, I think not only is it a good example of a Doctor Who history episode, I think it's a wonderful and great example of a Doctor Who history episode.
I think I just
wish not only the history, not only the historical person, not only do we learn a couple facts about them, but we also get a little bit of characterization from where and why the Doctor loves Earth so much.
I just kind of wish that the villain was different. I think that not only I wish the villain was different, but I wish the villain...
the weak element.
I wish the
sucks
monster
and took too long.
I wish that the monster, the premise of Tesla's Night of Horrors was a little bit more, like, literally taken. And I also wish that whatever the, like, conflict of the episode was would be more personalized to Tesla and Edison. Like,
well, the monster is just the Tesla Edison thing, right?
I know that it's just the Tesla Edison thing, but it's in a way that's, like, simultaneously, it's, like, too literal and weird, but also it's just like...
So the reason that it's so literal is that it's for children and you can't actually explain the real version of it, so you have an alien do it so children can understand.
I know it's a
I
show
think there's
for babies,
two changes that would have made this episode an A for me. Number one, I think that the goons with the red glowing eyes, I don't think that really felt like it had anything to do with anything else that was going on. I think that could have used some punch up. Number two, there should have been a moment where they see Topsy the elephant alive, and they're like, but I thought, and then she's like, not so. And then Topsy starts trampling people, which is why Topsy was executed.
I can't fucking believe that Edison didn't actually electrocute that elephant. I have heard that story so many times. I still don't believe that Edison didn't electrocute that elephant.
Not only that, he threw a very nice funeral for the elephant.
he paid for it. He bought the elephant a new elephant to replace the one that died.
He actually tried to murder the people who were going to do it, but he did fail. Well, I think it's time for me to press the old randomize button and see what we're watching next week. 244. Where's that take us?
Please, give me something good. Give me Matt.
We're in Series 8. We're back
Smith?
with Capaldi.
Capaldi!
Ooh, interesting. It is Robot of Sherwood.
Oh, is that Robin Hood?
I believe I'm seeing one Robin Hood.
I vaguely remember that one. Enjoy.
Reception is generally positive.
Oh, yeah,
Praised the
one.
writing and acting, but criticized the more minor role of the Doctor in the episode, and the length, which did not do the mythology justice. This episode got a B- from AV Club, but AV Club is maybe writes the worst reviews I've ever read in my life, so I don't know.
IGN gave it a 6.9, so it's going to be a really good episode.
IGN said, pacing was flawed, it was a terrible writing, the jokes all landed flat, 9.
I believe, if I remember it right, this is very Doctor Who. More than anything else, this is a great Doctor Who episode.
I think I remember in H. Bomber Guy's video about Sherlock, he mentioned an episode where the Doctor fights Robin Hood with a spoon, so...
Great. I look forward to learning about Robin Hood, who I guess is a historical figure now.
Yeah, he's definitely a real guy. I mean, Sherwood Forest is a real place.
Oh shit, I forgot. Next time on Doctor Who, there's a space laser, and there's a city under siege, and a rhino is there.
Can I very briefly complain about something before we finish? Speaking of next time on Doctor Who, have you noticed that the BBC, I don't know the word, the BBC, my brain keeps wanting to say eye catcher, because that's what it is in anime. The BBC, programming screen at the start of every Doctor Who episode is the loudest sound you've ever heard, and it's
terribly
so
loud. It's
much
so
louder than
loud.
the rest of the episode. So even if the audio is quiet on my TV,
and they
it's
do
just
that every hour on every show on every network.
It's just the loudest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Wake up, England!
Yeah, your queen is alive
Up
and
next
kicking.
on this very special Dad's Army.
Coming up next on MILF Manor's not BBC. I'm thinking of Love Island.
No, it's not. It's TLC.
Is Love Island BBC or is that Channel 4?
It's Channel 4.
Anyways.
Don't fucking come to my house and say this shit to me.
I've never seen it.
MILF Manor's been good. I'm watching it.
Oh god, it's
I have
terrifying.
seen every episode of MILF Manor.
That's the app where you merge things, right? No, that's Merge Manor. Never mind.
Okay, great.
Yeah, no, MILF Manor I will tell you about later when you're old enough.
Okay.
We've run long, so let me blast through our Patreon stuff. Patreon.com/pottingbros. $1 gets you a pretty special Discord role that marks you as lightly coated in slime, and you can get all of our bonus content. We're going to watch the second Doctor very soon.
Woo.
$5 gets you a pretty special Discord role marking you as entirely covered in slime, and you can send us a message that we'll read in one of our funny voices and you get a shout out. $10 gets you all that plus an incredibly special Discord role that marks you as a companion of the show entirely made of slime. Thank you to our $10 and $5 subscribers: Cassidy, Destry Hawk, H. Cabe, Dan Big Chanja Silva, JCH Roy, Stephanie B, Stephanie Karen, and Tasty Sea Sponge.
That's me.
We have a message. This one I believe it's my turn to read. This is from Dan. This is a Kyle voice request.
I think I might have been here for when Dan sent this message in.
I just want to reblog this and stress this. Tom Foss lost his entire squad. He didn't lose 20% of his squad. He didn't even lose 50%. He lost his whole squad. Look at what it's done to him. You can see the death in his eyes, but he keeps on going. This is why Tom Foss is one of my favorite mentors.
What is that a reference to?
It sounds vaguely familiar.
It's a Tumblr post.
He lost his whole squad. Who originally lost? Levi lost... Oh, it's a fucking Attack on Titan. Levi lost his whole squad. He didn't lose 20% of his squad.
Is this like Clone Wars?
No, it's I think it's Attack on Titan. Levi.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You can see the death in his eyes, but he keeps going. This is why Levi is one of my favorite genders.
Great.
Yeah, that sounds like a...
Thank you for joining us, Chai.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Thank you for inviting me. It was really nice.
Please do any plugs you want to do.
Hey, I have a website and an email address. I have nothing else. You can go to my website and you can email me. That's fucking it. I don't give a shit. You can go to storiesfromtheinter.net or you can email me at mail@storiesfromtheinter.net. Thanks.
Jordan, do your plugs.
You can find me on the dying side of Twitter at BradPissRex, and you can find me on the thriving side of Tumblr at punishbreakfast.tumblr.com.
You can also listen to my other show, Kamurocho Radio, which is about the Yakuza series. We're doing Yakuza 4 right now, but another Yakuza game's coming out in like a week. And so excited! And we'll be doing our first impressions for that, as always. And then I also do Slappers Only, but we've been on hiatus forever.
I'll do my plugs. You can find my other podcast, Sounds About Light, where we're currently talking about Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, and 0 to 0, where we just finished Blade, and we're about to finish Fantastic Four, because we have brain problems.
Are you alternating Blade and Fantastic?
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
I have one more plug, if that's okay.
Please.
Please go to twitch.tv/anime_sama, S-A-M-A, anime_SAMA. It is a 24/7, fully copyright-free anime channel that I run and take ad revenue off. So watch it all day.
I don't know if I knew about that.
I didn't know about that either.
Also, all three of us are on extra credit sometimes at thefmin.us.
Man, I haven't been on extra credit in so long because I've had a scheduling conflict with their regular recording times.
Because you have a job.
No, even dumber. It's because I play a stupid video game.
Cringe.
Owned.
Oh, speaking of cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to lead me into the... Because you get mad at me when I try to segue into it?
Yeah. Well, listen, gang. Epic bacon atheism, Tesla, Elon Musk. But I think that we should wrap up our episode with something a little more spiritual. So, Sam, do you think you could lead our congregation in the traditional Doctor Who prayer?
May your life flow like a river. May your days smell sweet as a rose. May your nights be calm and still as a pond. May you be as lucky as an ace in a game of blackjack, Harkness. And may the Doctor light your path through time, and may Dan, the nice man, smile nicely upon you.
Oh, man, I love that addition. And may Graham drive the bus to heaven.
It just gets longer and longer.
Just every episode.
But we always append it to the end, even though it already ended.
And also, what if Rory was there? And
bye,
bye, Doctor. Bye,
Doctor. Bye. I guess that's our new sign off. Doctor. Bye.